Phantasy Star 2 has recently released New Genesis, and I jumped in to see what it was all about. So my perspective is my own, and you can do with that what you will. So I played this game for a few hours, and most of it was me trying to figure out exactly what the hell was going on. So the character customization was pretty insane. I'll admit I didn't really know what the hell was going on with it when I first opened it, but you can do some mad and crazy things with it. So you can combine different aspects of different races together. So you can make your character look like as much of a mess as the Game of Thrones finale was, and then view them in cutscenes. So you do mess your character up by over-editing it, like I did. I made my character look like an absolute mutant after spending ages on it, so I had to start again. So you can just go to the review changes part and undo a lot of the things that you did. So I went for a skinny robot with a cowboy hat. I ended up quite liking what my character looked like, and I'm going to play it and probably going to stick with this kind of look now. A fantastic part about this game is that you can use a controller, which to me, I play Final Fantasy XIV with a controller. I like to play a lot of my games with the controller option if that is available, but it's personal preference with it there. I can play keyboard and mouse, it's just that the controller is a lot better for my back. You can sit at your desk and kind of lean back rather than hunching over. I'm already walking around like a hobbled man half the time. Even though the controller support is there, it's not as refined or as great as the Final Fantasy XIV controller setup, because honestly I don't know how you could improve upon that. It did take a bit of getting used to, but once you kind of get into the flow of things, it becomes second nature, like with any kind of game. So the game does not feel like a traditional MMO. You jump up and you slash and you dodge and you run around, and it feels more like an action RPG than say like World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy XIV. There's this good sense of freedom where you kind of go into the open world and you run and jump about, and you can dodge, and it's just a generally fun experience to play it. So when you're out about in the open world, when you're exploring the new areas, there's a lot of healing items around. You can pick them up and then you can use them in battles, which is pretty good because you're not relying on like the Holy Trinity to do everything in the game. You can keep yourself healed up, and you can also pick up those things quite easily, but there is a limit to how many's around, so you can still die, especially if you're taking a lot of damage at once. So there's 6 base classes to play. I can never be bothered remembering the real names for them, so I'll just give you the 6 names I've just kind of made for them on the spot here. So the slashy guy, there's a punchy, there's like a nearby gunner, there's a faraway gunner, there's a space wizard, and then there's like a healer with a mace. Each class plays differently and feels unique when you're playing them. So with those classes, you can further change your playstyle by changing the weapon that's equipped while you're playing those classes. So this can completely change the style of play for that particular class. So as well as changing your weapon, you can play a different subclass. So you can take those abilities to further uniquify your playing experience. If uniquifying is a word? I don't think so. I'll admit, I don't know the optimal ways to play any of these classes. I just kind of pick up the game and have a go of it. So if there's any min-maxing or a meta, I'm not really aware of it, especially at this point in the game that I'm playing. So I joined up with some friends on Discord and we played together with it. So it's pretty fun playing together. You get to explore the world and do a lot of the trials and the fights and the overworld monsters. And there's a lot of kind of things going on. It's fast paced and you kind of feel like you're in the thick of the action along with your friends. It's fun just kind of jumping in and hitting things. I'm not really particularly sure how to optimize my role within my group of playing, but I'm sure over time I'll kind of figure that out as I'm leveling. There's voice chat in the game that can help you communicate easily with your teammates. So if you're in the middle of a fast kind of combat, you can easily just talk to them rather than having to type out a message, because the game is quite fast paced and it really does help. Although on the standard side of the chatting, there's this really fun option to kind of get a little screen that comes up with your character's face, and you can say ridiculous phrases. So I'm just going to move on to the story side of things. As far as I'm aware, it's set 1,000 years after the original classic version of the game, and you're a character that falls down in a meteor pod. You're called some kind of meteor guy thing, and everyone's kind of friendly with you generally, and it's like, you guys are great, you guys are allies. And then there's some other evil dudes that are just causing general ruckus to the society that you come down in. So you're accepted within that community and you're working together with other meteor pod players to help fight against this. Bear in mind, this is just my first impressions of the game. I may do a follow-up video later on when I've actually got to max level and I know a bit more about what's going on in the game. If you fancy playing it, it's free to play. And I say it's worth a shot. It's a fun game to play. Generally, I had quite a bit of fun playing with my friends. It may feel a bit weird once you first pick up the game, but once you get used to it, it's actually quite a bit of fun. I had genuine fun with some of my friends that I was playing with as we were just going around at the beginning levels and doing things together. If you made it this far into the video, I thank you. This is the very first video that I've recorded. Coming up, I'm hoping to do some Final Fantasy 14 content, hopefully both educating and entertaining, so new players can kind of come in and have a positive vibe to the game, along with a few guides and little unwritten rules about Eorzea that some people may not be aware of. So I want to start doing some content for a VR MMO called Zenith: The Last City. So it's quite exciting. It's the first good looking MMO for VR. It's going to be available on the Oculus Quest and Steam. I've got access to the alpha. I've got access to the next 2 betas as well. So I want to post some videos and show you exactly what it's all about. If you are interested in following any of this stuff, do the usual that I'm sure everybody else has told you to do already. Like, subscribe, yada, yada, yada. So I've also started recently streaming on Twitch. If you want to see some of the content that goes into my video, or just join me along the journey and see my thoughts on things, feel free to join, come and chat, we'll just hang out. So that's everything for now. Until next time, I'll see you later.